All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Her Gutsy Voice. If any of you have watched my other interviews, you know that I'm talking to women who have a business and have been able to have a great relationship too, or a marriage that works. I'll just put it that way. Um, because so many women have said to me, I have to leave my husband in order to find myself. And I'm like, no, you just need your gutsy voice in order to do that. And today I will get around to talking to Jean about her relationship with her husband because I did get to meet him at the event that she did in 3 days, and he was so helpful in making things happen. And the dynamic between them was so beautiful to watch. But if you are somebody in business, if you have a business and you want to take your business to the next level, I want you to reach out to Jean. This woman changed my life. I met her at Women Belong. She introduced herself, and there was something about what she said. I had to be a part of it. She invited me to her 5 a.m. call. That was Central Time. And meeting her and meeting these women and the dedication that Jean has for women in business is beyond any other coach I've ever encountered. So, if you are in business, if you are a coach, if you have a brick and mortar business, no problem. I want you to reach out to her. And all the information will probably be in this conversation. So, I want to start today with having Jean talk about what she's up to in the world of business and why she's so good at what she does. And then we'll get around to talking about relationships. So,
Oh, you want me to
take it
start?
away, Jean,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. So give me the first part of that question one more time.
I want people who are listening now that are in business, that have a business, and they want to take their business to the next level. I want you to talk about your secret sauce that will be able to do that because that's what you do.
Mhm.
And bar none, nobody is unsuccessful if they work with you. And that just blows my mind.
Well, thank you. And part of it is because, first of all, thanks for having me here.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invitation. First, part of that is why I think that this. First of all, this is just really important to me because I have been an entrepreneur for 40 years, and let me just tell you, the first what's 40 minus the first 35 no, the first 25 years were freaking hard. And I didn't make enough money. And I felt like if I was making $35,000 a year in my business, I was better than most, right? And and it wasn't enough money. And I knew I was capable. And I have always seen myself as somebody who makes a lot of money, right? I have always thought that. And I was not making a lot of money. And I was spending more money than I was making. And meaning trying to start a business, not like because I had enough, I'm a shopper. That was probably part of it too. But I just I just couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't get the sales piece down. I knew how to do all the stuff I was doing, but I did not know how to ask for a sale. Meaning I didn't know how to ask a client to work with me or a potential client to work with me. So I got the help I needed around that. I hired a coach to help me around sales and marketing has been my jam for 40 years, but I got somebody to help me around the sales piece for the most part. And once I knew how to do that, then I felt like there was no stopping me because I could I could I did create a multiple six-figure business from this then, right? So that was number one, is that piece there. But the reason this is important to me is because I spent those first 25, 28 years not making enough money. Like not making enough money. And I thought for as hard as I worked with three little kids, and it was there was problems there sometimes in the marriage, right? Because it was a little there was some problems. Um, but he's still my biggest supporter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
I,
couldn't toss him.
I love your rally cry. Make money, make money, make money.
Always, always, because
Yeah.
so many women, only 12%, Kimberly, only 12% of female business owners make six figures.
Yeah.
only ever hits $100,000, and that is just literally a sin.
Do you think it's mindset too? Did
I
your
know it's
mindset
mindset.
shift? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yes. Part of that was, and I will tell you, one of the books that the very best book I ever read on that was, and we read it as a group for the most part once a year, is The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind
Who
with
wrote that
like
book?
T. Harv Eker. I'm
Okay.
just looking to see if do I have it right here. It's always within arm's reach of me because I literally go through this book
Okay. So
time and time again. Yeah.
what do you think? What one thing in his book that you said, that's it? This shifted something in me.
I will tell you really quick here which one it was because it was one of the first few wealth principles he talked about. And it's, let me, if you don't mind, let me just find that really quick here. Um,
So that's what he calls them, wealth principles.
yeah, he's got 17 wealth principles in here. And it's one of the first few. Let me find it really quick. Must be, maybe it's one of the first it's one of the first, let me go back to the beginning because, not to the beginning, but
The content?
that yeah, just it's one of the probably the first three. I think it's this one right here. Oh, this one right here. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game to not lose.
Okay.
Rich people play it to win. I always play to win, right? And I want to win. I'm competitive. I'm that, but I also realized when I read this chapter that I was playing not to lose.
Huh.
I thought I was playing to win but because I'm a little competitive, what I was playing was not to lose. So I wasn't playing as full out as I possibly could. And that piece right there that gave me a big shift.
When you say that, I think of this other phrase, think with the end in mind, like the goal line. Where do you want to finish? What do you want to accomplish?
Mhm.
How much? Where do you see yourself like that? Because we're pulled forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so now with that in mind, how does a millionaire mindset or millionaire, what was it called? Millionaire what?
The secrets, the
Oh, the millionaire
secrets
mind.
of the
Okay.
millionaire mind. Yeah.
How does that then translate to relationships? It's almost like the secret of the millionaire relationship.
Yeah, it's so funny because when we had been married right around, somebody had said to me, I don't know, we've been married probably around 11, 12 years. And somebody had said to me, oh, you're coming up on 13. That's the hardest year,
Oh,
right?
they kind of planted this.
Kind of planted that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right? And all of a sudden around year 13, we just started having problems, right?
yeah.
And the D word never was thrown around, but it was like right
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I remember we went to counseling for a couple years, and and the counselor had pointed out that we had just with the with trying to work and trying to have two jobs. He had a job, I had a business, a little independent contractor business, and three kids, and never enough money, and it was hard, right? And he said, "You just forgot how to be friends." So I
Oh,
took that to heart. I really did take that to heart that
yeah,
we had forgotten how to be friends.
right,
So, and during counseling, it had come out that his parents were divorced when he was like in kindergarten, right? So, and I remember him saying that he never really got married to stay married, right? But not in, I don't think he thought that intentionally to start
right,
with, but he just assumed at some point we would probably just get divorced.
right, right.
Where I
A
had
divorce
parents,
became an option. It became an option.
it, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I had parents who they were married 52 years when my mom died, right?
Right,
So when I got married, I literally heard those vows that said till death do us part. And
right.
it's and I also knew that if we ever got divorced, I was going to live right next door to him because I am not that mother who's taking away the children from their father because I neither of us wanted custody. I'm just kidding. Right? We both were no, we were going to do this together if that meant I had to live next door, right?
Right.
So no, it's like, no, that was not how I ever intended it. Like I never got married to ever get divorced because that's just hard, right? You put in
Right.
all the hard work, you wait for the reward at the end. And it is kind of a reward after the kids leave, right?
Yes. Yeah. I have a joke and I say, wait until the movie is over. You just never know how it's going to end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And life is a surprise, and life hands you problems. And if you don't have your best friend with you, you're not going to be able to solve those problems.
Right.
Yeah,
And he is
absolutely.
my best friend.
Yeah.
He is
I
my
could
best
see that at the retreat. Yeah. I love that. I was
friend.
talking to somebody about she
Yeah.
works with events. She's an event planner and she did a lot of weddings. And
Uh-huh.
she has this thing that she does at weddings and always asks the couple who've been married the longest, what was your secret? And she says she always gets two answers. The first one is she's always right. She's always right.
Yeah.
I forgot what the second one was, but the first one we just kind of chuckled because here's the thing. We as women lead the family. We do. As much as we want him to take the lead or what have you, we do lead. And men will follow. And a lot of women are wanting him to lead. And it's like, why? You know,
Well, actually, that's so funny because I was reading the Bible the other day, and it was to the part where it was talking about that the men will lead, right? And
right.
I thought,
It's a very religious thing.
yeah, it is a very religious thing, and I'm like, that would be so awesome, right? That would serious. You know why? Because I do take the lead on right making sure the bills are paid and making sure
Right.
everything's done. And if there's a household project that needs to be done, how do I get that fixed? And right, and I have made it really, I believe, I don't know if he would agree, but I've made it really easy for him to have a happy life, right? Because I will take care of all of that. And part of it is what your friend said about because she's always right, because I want to make sure everything is always right, right? And
Right.
not that I don't think he would, but
But we can also lead by delegating. And that's something in our own business too. We
that's a
lead
good
our
point.
business, we direct our business, we say we want to take our business in a particular way, and then we delegate. And we can do that in our marriages too, where we don't have to do everything. And women will say, well, he's not going to do it as good as me. You say, yeah, but it's going to get done, and you can teach him just the same as maybe somebody isn't going to do a post in my Facebook page as good as me,
Right.
but at least it gets done. And
Exactly.
over time, my VA will understand what it is I'm looking for with a few tweaks. So if I'm willing to train a VA on how I want things done, I could train a husband on how I want things done. And
That's
that's what I mean by it's us. We're the leader. That's what I mean by it.
Oh, I totally get that. And I will say, we've been married 45 years this year. It was 45 years. And I would say, probably in the last couple years, I have really been leaning on that, right?
Yeah,
It's like I'm now to the point where I realize I don't have to do everything, right? Number one, I don't have to do everything. And if something to the point where we're at that age where it's like, oh, how many days do we have left? Right? I don't know. How many? Is it 60 or 600? I don't know. I don't know. So I also want to make sure that he has an understanding, as I want to have an understanding of where are number one, our bodies buried, right? What do I have to take care of? And like, or what does he need to take care of if something would happen to me, right?
yeah,
That
yeah.
he is fully prepared to not be one of those men that it's like, I have no idea where your mother put anything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that happen too.
Yeah. I don't,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But you would never keep your best friend out of knowing all of this information. I
No,
love that. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Um, so what advice would you give women who are wanting to build their business and bring their family, not just their husbands, but their kids too, bring their families along for their ride? What advice would you give them?
oh, okay, I'm going to give you the truth, right? I wouldn't. I would not bring them along for the ride. They are there as they're there as recipients of what you create from your business.
Uh,
So I because that's where things I think have a problem. If I go to him, sometimes I just want to complain and sometimes he just wants to complain and I'm a problem solver, right? And he's a problem solver.
okay.
He's really good at just like listening and not letting and not telling me things I should do. I'm not so good at that, right? He'll tell me, give me a problem, and I want to solve it immediately for him. So yeah, I would not. I would not bring them along for the ride with the business because to be honest, I only want his opinion when I ask for it.
Hmm.
He's really good at giving me if I ask for it. He's really good at giving me his opinion. But there's a certain part of me that's like, I I don't okay, I'm trying to not to sound like an ass when I say all of this, but the fact is that I want to run my business my way. And there are some times where I need us just want to talk something out with somebody. He's great for that,
Got
right?
it.
There's because there's not too many people when you do what I do that you have other people to talk to about what's going on, right? I
Right,
can't
right,
take my problems to clients, right?
right,
I can't take them to anybody who might possibly be a client at some point, right?
right,
So
of
I
course.
have very few people that but that's the reason I also have a coach and have had one for so many years because I need somebody also to talk to who understands exactly what I do,
Right,
that can give me advice and that it's not going to piss me off.
right. So let me ask this question in a different way. How do
Okay.
you make sure that your family doesn't interfere with your business?
Oh, that's such a good question because we had this happen when my grandson was born. Like I wanted to be the grandma who helped, but I didn't want to babysit, right? And but for the first 6 months, he came here every day. When she went to work, her husband's a firefighter, so he was off 2 or 3 days during the week, depending on his schedule. And so on his days he was working, he came here every day until he was 6 months old. And at one point I said, honey, I can't do this anymore because he needs constant supervision now
Right,
and I'm not I actually said I've spent so many years taking care of everybody else that I built this for me. I told her flat out, I built this for me and I raised you guys and I as much as I love doing this, I'm not going to do this. You're going to have to find other arrangements because I have built something that I'm really proud of and I don't want to lose it because I've worked really hard at it and I'm not willing to backstep even a half a step.
yeah,
So to be able to do that, and she did, and she understood.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about, the
Yeah,
gutsy voice. To be
yeah,
able to risk that I'm going to hurt somebody or disappoint them or offend them or what have you, for the sake of, because so many women will tell me, I feel so selfish. I feel so selfish. And I'm like, no, that's selfish. It's, where, and you're teaching your daughter something.
100%. I
Absolutely.
I
That she
just
doesn't
got
have to always give of herself to make everybody else happy.
right. I must not have my phone in here, but I um I wanted to share something with you. Oh, here it is. I just got a text from somebody, and it was so interesting because let me just type her name. I won't say her name out loud here, but I just got a text from her last night and it says, I miss you and the group. She's in her 70s. Okay.
Okay.
She, she says, I miss you in the group. It's been difficult adjusting to living at my granddaughter's house to help with her new baby and the 3-year old. It's exhausting. Not much else has changed. Right. She's she doesn't have a gutsy voice to tell her granddaughter that at 70 it's too much to take care of a 3-year-old, so
Right.
she can continue to build the business that she wants and pay her bills,
Right.
right? And that's super sad. When I read that, I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that because
That's
I
so
want that to,
perfect for today's talk. It really is.
yeah,
It really is that we're not just meant to be there for everybody else, that we
right.
can be there for us. Yeah. And this such a great conversation today. How perfect is this? And so your advice for women would be?
My advice for women to be would be to say something, right? It because we put it all off. I know I put off the success that I wanted till my kids were grown. I kind of tell a story about when my son turned 21 in 2012. And I woke up on the day of his birthday and I thought, holy crap, I am past middle age. I am not going to live. I was 53. I'm not going to live to 106. So I am over middle age at that point, right? And
Yeah.
if I don't create this now, when will I? And if I'm going to prove to myself, what can I do in life, right?
Right.
How far can I go? How much money can I make? My kids are grown. I want to have money to take them all on vacation. I mean, this is part of what I do. I love spending time with my family, but I love more taking them on vacation, right? It's just so fun, and I want to be able to do that because my parents never did. I mean, my parents could never do that when we were adults, take us and pay for everything. And I want to be able to do that and also be able to make sure that Bruce and I have the money that we need going into retirement. Well, I'm not going into retirement, but anytime soon. But
Right.
I want him to feel free to retire whenever he wants, right?
Right.
So if I don't play to win, right? If I'm just playing not to lose, I'm not going to create the kind of money that um, we would need for retirement, right? We were just on the call right before this one this morning talking about somebody about our retirement and our how much, where our money is going to go and things like that. So I think that's an important piece is you've got to have a gutsy voice to say what you need to say regard and within a loving way, not meant to hurt anybody, but also to say, hey, look, like I'm not doing that anymore. I told my husband 10 years ago, I'm like, I'm not cooking anymore like I used to. I don't enjoy it. It's a pain in the ass. I'm tired by I put in 12 hours a day doing what I love, right? Why do I want to spend time cooking what I don't love?
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was cleaning houses.
Oh, I took care of that years ago,
I know.
decades ago.
One week after I was married, my husband comes home and my new husband comes home and he looks around the house. He says, "Oh, the house isn't clean." And I go, "Oh, you thought you married a maid." And he got real quiet and he's like, "Oh," I says, "I don't clean houses." Oh. And then he says, "Well, I
It's
guess
9 o'clock.
I need to hire a maid." I says, "Okay, just don't marry her." I didn't
That's
realize
funny.
that that moment of clarity back then, I actually had a gutsy voice and I lost it along the way. I did. I lost my gutsy voice and it became more of a demanding voice and not a voice where this is what I need. So that's the other thing too. I don't want women to think that being gutsy is ordering your family around or telling them this is the way it's going to be and you better suck it up, buttercup. That's not being gutsy either. It really is thinking about the other person. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so funny because I didn't find my gutsy voice until I was in my 40s. I was always very shy, very I know you probably find that hard to believe, but I was really shy.
Yeah.
And right, and I couldn't find my voice. I had to go to counseling to find my voice because I was a people pleaser. I wasn't a people pleaser. I was a mommy pleaser. And then I realized at 40, what are you doing? You're never going to please her, right? You can't, there's no way to please her,
Right.
right? So I better learn to find my voice
It's interesting that you said you found your voice after you went to counseling.
Yeah.
Something that I discovered about women is they are looking for permission. And some women get upset when I say that, but it's kind of true. We want the okay, that we don't want to look bad. We don't want to be seen as selfish. We don't want to be seen as uncooperative. We don't want to be seen as the B word, like that. So we do need permission. And that's the other thing that I love about your group is we get permission to have our voice there. We really do. And to celebrate it, no matter what our goals are, no matter what we want to create, it's whatever it is, it's wonderful. And so I thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. I am so grateful that I discovered Eugene and
Oh,
Eugene, that's funny.
oh, normally it was hygiene.
Oh, oh yeah, that's true. Hi, Jean.
Middle school can
Eugene.
be awful.
We all scream Jean, right?
Yeah.
But I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on here today with me. And I encourage every person, every woman who's looking for business. Now, you do coach men too. I know that. Okay. In your group, but predominantly it is women, quote, of a certain age. I think there was a movie like that, in that second phase where maybe they are done with the kids raising and all of that. And now they look around and say, what do I want to create? How do I want to live the rest of my life? And I just love that. Love it, love, love.
Oh,
So
thank you.
you're
And
very welcome.
and
So
it's
I
really
hope
women are, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
there are plenty of women, what?
There are plenty of women who, in this act of life, have not saved enough money for retirement yet.
Right.
The boomers are the oldest or the youngest boomers are going into retirement without really a lot of money for retirement. So they're feeling like they have to continue working. They just need to learn how to make enough money.
There's two things that are in the media right now. One is called graying divorce, where husbands are leaving their wives in their 60s.
Mm.
So now the woman is without her spouse on her own. And the other one is children who are estranging themselves from their parents. So now we've got women who are on their own with, how do I create an income? What do I need to do? And they don't know what to do. And yet they have so many skills and abilities that they're unaware of that it takes a coach to say, you could do this, and somebody who will believe in them until they start believing in themselves. Yeah, I
What I
love
love
that.
about what I do.
I know. I know. It shows very much. All right. Well, I always finish with sending everybody all the love in the world. And please remember, be love. Mwah.